Dear students, I welcome you in the next lecture on countable sets. Recall the definition of countable sets. A set S is countable if there is one-to-one correspondence between the set I of positive integers and the elements of n. So S1, S2, S3 and Sn. If there is one-to-one correspondence between elements of I and S, then set S is countable. Let us see some examples of countable sets. First example, the set I is countable. Prove that the set I is countable. It is quite simple to observe what will be the one-to-one correspondence. The identity function itself will be one-to-one correspondence from I2 itself. So 1, 2, 3, n and so on. So we have a function from I2 itself such that if we define f, this function which we are defining from I to I as f of n is equal to n, which is identity function, is 1 1 and onto function, and hence the set I of positive integers is countable because we have one-to-one correspondence. Next example, the set 2i of positive even integers, the set 2i of positive even integers is countable. Even integers is countable. Answer. Note that I am just giving you the ideas and the function. For detailed proofs, you may refer to the notes which I am providing to you. It is the ideas which is more important than the actual proof in this case. So the set 2i consists of all positive even integers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and so on. We define a bijective function from I to 2i based on this idea. The set I consists of all positive integers and 2i consists of set of all positive even integers. So it will get mapped to 2n. Now you can easily guess what will be the function between I and 2i, 4 to 8 and n to 2n. So we define f from I to 2i as f of n is equal to 2n. This map is clearly 1 1 and onto 1 1 and onto. So I is equivalent or similar to 2i, and this proves that 2i is countable and this proves that 2i is countable or denumerable. Similarly, we can prove that the set of all positive odd integers is also countable based on similar idea. I give you this as an exercise to prove that set of all positive odd integers is also countable. Next example which we consider is set Z of integers is countable. The set Z of integers is countable. This is the set Z of integers is countable. Of integers is countable. It consists of 0, negative integers and positive integers. Set Z, we can try to visualize it in this fashion: -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Based on this idea, which I am giving it here, we can have a bijection, a one-to-one correspondence between I and Z. See, the concept of equivalence is fairly simple. A is equivalent to B or A is similar to B if there is one-to-one correspondence. Say, for every element of set A, there is exactly one element of set B. This is one-to-one correspondence. But this fairly simple idea revolutionized set theory. By using this idea, one can define the cardinality or equal cardinality using this simple idea. This idea was given by Cantor. He revolutionized set theory by introducing this idea, or by making use of this idea, he rigorously defined cardinality of sets. I mean, when two sets have same cardinality or when they are equivalent. So intuitively, if you think about cardinality of I and Z, you may feel that Z has more number of elements than I. But this is not true. As we will see, two sets will have same number of elements if there is one-to-one correspondence. So we can have one-to-one correspondence between the set I of positive integers and set Z of integers. Can you guess some way of counting? Of course, the way I am suggesting is not unique. Can define it in many ways. So we can begin with 0, then one negative integer, one positive integer. So in case I decide to count the elements of Z, I can try to find some way of counting. Of course, I cannot begin with this because this is a unbounded set at left hand as well as right hand. So I cannot begin with left hand. Rather, what I do is this: I count 0 as first element, then -1 as second element, +1 as third element. So one left, one right. 1 negative, 1 positive. Minus 2, I count its fourth element. Plus 2, I count as fifth element. So this is how we are going to count the elements of Z. We are counting first element, second element, third element, fourth element, fifth element, sixth element, and so on. So this way of counting gives me one-to-one correspondence between I and Z. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So first element that I count is 0. The second element, as per this counting, 1 left, 1 right. So 1 negative, that is minus 1. Another is plus 1. 1 left, 1 right. 1 negative, 1 positive. For 6, minus 3, 7, 3, and so on. For 8, it will be minus 4. So we can continue in this way, and it is not difficult to observe that this is one-to-one correspondence. For every positive integer, there is exactly one integer in the set Z, and conversely, for every integer Z, there is exactly one corresponding positive integer. So this is one-to-one correspondence. Pairing out of elements of I and Z. Okay. We'll have explicit formula for this way of enumeration or this way of counting of elements of Z. So we define function f from I to Z as f of n is equal to, so we need to consider cases when n is odd and when n is even. So first let us focus when n is even. N is equal to 2, we get minus 1. N is equal to 4, it gets mapped to minus 2. N is equal to 6, it gets mapped to minus 3. So you can guess the enumeration, minus n by 2 if n is equal to what? 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Now let us observe for odd integers. 1 gets mapped to 0, 3 gets mapped to 1, 5 gets mapped to 2, 7 gets mapped to 3. Can you guess what will be the formula for this? 7 gets mapped to 3. So it is n minus 1 by 2. Subtract 1 and half it. So 7 minus 1 is 6 and half of it is 3. So if n is equal to 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. This function f from I to Z is 1, 1 and on 2, 1, 1 and on 2. Hence we have the enumeration, or let me say one-to-one correspondence between I and Z, and this proves that I is equivalent to, we are using this notation, I is equivalent to Z, and this proves that Z is countable. The set Z is countable. In the next lecture, we will see some more examples of countable sets.